What if I told you the quarter hiding in your pocket right now, the plain 1996 one you never even look at, could be worth more than a brand new luxury car? Stay with me, because this tiny coin has a secret that shocked collectors across America. Welcome back, treasure hunters and coin lovers. Today's video takes us on a journey deep into the history of one of America's most iconic coins. It's a coin that millions of people have handled in their daily lives, yet only a tiny fraction realize its hidden power and potential. We're talking about the United States $quarter from 1965, a coin that seems ordinary on the surface but has a story that might surprise you. So stay with me until the end, because this small piece of metal could be worth far more than anyone expects. The year 1965 was a turning point in American numismatic history. Up until 1964, U.S. quarters were made of 90% silver, giving them intrinsic value even outside their monetary use. But everything changed when silver prices began to rise dramatically. The government was forced to rethink how coins were produced, and 1965 became the year of transition. This is when the United States Mint introduced a completely new composition for the quarter. No more silver, but instead a clad coin made of copper and nickel. It was a change that sparked controversy, confusion, and curiosity among collectors at the time. Because of this major shift, the 1965 quarter became more than just pocket change, it became a symbol of transformation in American currency. Millions of these coins were struck, but what makes certain 1965 quarters extraordinarily valuable today is not the common ones you find in circulation but the select few tied to unusual circumstances, stunning preservation, or rare minting quirks. As these coins entered the hands of citizens across the country, no one imagined that a small portion of them held secrets waiting to be discovered decades later. Some were struck under exceptional conditions, some retained unexpected characteristics from the previous silver era, and others survived in a pristine state, untouched by time. These differences may seem tiny, but to collectors, they mean everything. Now, before we get into the excitement of value, let's take a closer look at what the 1965 quarter represents visually. On the front, we see the familiar profile of George Washington, the nation's first president, standing as a symbol of leadership and strength. Even though the metal composition changed, the design remained a tribute to America's history. The reverse features the majestic eagle with wings spread, clutching arrows and olive branches, an image of both defense and peace. Every detail on the coin reflects the traditions of the United States, even as the country was moving into a new economic chapter. But among the countless 1965 quarters minted, certain examples stand out like hidden gems. These special pieces include coins with slight minting errors that occurred during the shift from silver to clad production, coins struck on leftover silver planchets, and coins that were kept in flawless condition, protected from wear for nearly 60 years. These rare finds are the ones that serious collectors chase after, because the value of a coin skyrockets when rarity, condition, and historical significance all come together. Imagine a coin that has been handled by millions suddenly revealing itself to be incredibly valuable. That's the thrilling world of coin collecting, where even the most ordinary-looking piece can hold extraordinary worth. And believe it or not, the 1965 quarter has made headlines more than once, with collectors discovering pieces that exceeded every expectation. These moments remind us that you never truly know what treasure might be hiding in your drawer, your old purse, or your coin jar at home. So here comes the moment you've been waiting for. If you happen to possess one of those extremely rare 1965 quarters, perhaps one struck in exceptional condition or one that contains an unusual minting characteristic, your coin could be worth as much as $82,000. Yes, that's the incredible value that a single rare 1965 quarter can reach today. So before you spend that old coin or overlook it as common change, take a closer look. You might be holding a miniature fortune. Today, we're diving into a coin that has been sitting quietly in drawers, jars, pockets, and old wallets for decades. It's a coin many Americans spent without hesitation, never imagining it might one day become a collector's jackpot. We're talking about the United States $quarter from 1977, a coin that holds more history and mystery than its simple appearance suggests. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you might be inspired to check every old quarter you have. The year 1977 was an interesting time in America. The country was adjusting to economic challenges, cultural changes, and a new political atmosphere. While people were focused on rising prices, new music, and shifting trends, the U.S. Mint was quietly producing the coins that would become part of everyday American life. The 1977 quarter was one of those coins, ordinary, essential, and circulated widely. Even though millions were made, only a tiny fraction hold the key to extraordinary value today. On the surface, this coin looks like any other Washington quarter. The portrait of George Washington stands proudly on the front, just as it has since 1932. It's a reminder of leadership, independence, and the foundation of the United States. The design is simple but powerful, showing Washington's dignified profile with crisp details that collectors admire when they're preserved well enough. Flip the coin over, and you see the classic American eagle, wings spread, resting on a bundle of arrows and olive branches. It's a symbol of strength balanced with peace, a design that has captured the attention of collectors for generations. But what makes the 1977 quarter truly interesting is not the design, it's the rarity that comes from condition, unexpected minting anomalies, and the survival of high-quality pieces. Most of the quarters made in 1977 lived a long and harsh life, bouncing around in pockets, registers, vending machines, laundromats, and gas stations. They collected scratches, dents, and dirt over the years. That means that finding a 1977 quarter in flawless, untouched, mint-state condition is becoming extremely difficult. Collectors know that condition is everything. A coin that still shines with its original luster, with sharp lines and no signs of wear, becomes a rare survivor. These coins were either stored away from the very beginning or were lucky enough to avoid decades of rough circulation. And that rarity alone can turn an ordinary coin into a valuable collectible. But there's more to the story. Sometimes coins from 1977 contain unexpected mint errors, slight misalignments, doubling in the lettering, unusual surfaces, or weak strikes. These small mistakes from the minting process happen rarely, but when they do, they create a coin that stands apart from millions of others. Collectors love these unique pieces because no two error coins are exactly alike. They're like fingerprints in the world of numismatics, distinct, intriguing, and extremely desirable. The 1977 quarter also sits at a fascinating time in U.S. minting history. This was a period when quality controls were shifting, machinery was aging, and coin production was pushed to meet nationwide demand. That created the perfect environment for a few special coins to emerge, coins that today are worth far more than anyone could have expected back in the late 70s. Think about it, a coin that people spent on arcade games, payphones, or movie tickets in 1977 could now be a treasure hiding in your pocket. It's the thrill of the unknown that keeps coin collectors searching, checking every date, and examining every detail. A single quarter can change everything if it happens to be one of those rare, top-grade or error-struck examples. And now, here is the moment you've been waiting for. If you are lucky enough to own a United States quarter dollar from 1977 that falls into the rare category, whether it is a flawless mint-state example or a unique error coin, its value can reach as high as $84,000. A coin that cost just 25 cents at the time could now be worth a fortune. So take a moment to look carefully at every old coin you find. You never know which one might be hiding a story worth telling, or a value worth celebrating. We're diving into the story of a coin that countless Americans have held in their hands without ever realizing its hidden potential. It's a coin that lived through a memorable decade of American history, a time of new technology, shifting culture, and major economic changes. This is the United States quarter dollar from 1986, and while it may look like an ordinary piece of loose change, certain rare examples of this coin can be worth far more than you might imagine. Stay with me, because near the end of this video, you might be stunned by the incredible value a special 1986 quarter can carry. The mid-1980s were a fascinating era for the United States. The economy was growing, technology was advancing, and the country was stepping confidently into a new modern age. Coins minted during this period were created using reliable machinery, yet with the high volume of production, the possibility of unique variations or unexpected mint errors was always present. The 1986 quarter is a perfect example of a coin that seems ordinary but hides surprises that collectors love to uncover. When you look closely at the 1986 quarter, you'll notice the iconic portrait of George Washington on the front. This design, originally created by John Flanagan, has been a part of American coinage for decades. Washington's profile is a symbol of leadership, resilience, and the birth of a nation, and even after years of circulation, the image remains recognizable to nearly every American. Collectors especially admire coins where Washington's profile appears sharp, untouched, and full of original detail. Those are the coins that stand out from the rest. Turn the coin over, and you're greeted by the traditional image of the American eagle perched proudly with wings spread. It clutches a bundle of arrows and rests above an olive wreath, representing both strength and peace. This reverse design is a timeless symbol of the United States, and on well-preserved 1986 quarters, the feathers, wings, and lines appear beautifully defined. The crispness of these features plays a big role in determining the coin's desirability and value. Now here's where things get exciting. Even though millions of 1986 quarters were minted, not all of them are equal. Over time, most of these coins were heavily used, rattling around in pockets, registers, arcade machines, gas stations, laundry rooms, and coin jars. They've seen years of wear, scratches, and damage. That means that finding a 1986 quarter in flawless, mint-state condition is far more difficult than people think. Collectors are constantly searching for coins that remain untouched by time. A 1986 quarter with its original shine, sharp strike, and clean surfaces becomes a rare survivor, and rarity is the key to value. But condition isn't the only factor that can make this coin extraordinary. Every so often, a coin from 1986 appears with a minting error, something unexpected that happened during production. It might be a coin struck slightly off-center, one with doubled lettering, unusual metal patterns, or a weakly struck design that gives it a distinctive appearance. These errors create one-of-a-kind coins that collectors chase after passionately. Because error coins are unique, their value can skyrocket, especially when they're combined with great condition. Coins from the 1980s are now gaining more attention in the collector world. As the years pass, high-quality examples of 1986 quarters become harder and harder to find. And the more people search for them, the more excitement grows around the rare few that truly stand out. It's a reminder that the most unexpected treasures can come from everyday places: a forgotten jar, an old wallet, or even change given to you at the store. So here comes the moment you've been waiting for. If you happen to own one of the exceptionally rare 1986 United States quarter dollars, perhaps one preserved in pristine, mint-state condition or one containing a remarkable mint error, its value can reach an astounding $86,000. A simple 25-cent coin from the 1980s could end up being worth a small fortune. So don't underestimate the coins you come across. Take a closer look, because you never know what you might discover. Today's adventure takes us into the final years of one of America's most vibrant decades, the late 1980s. It was a time of booming technology, changing culture, and unforgettable history. And tucked right into that era is a coin that millions of Americans used every single day without ever realizing its potential value. That coin is the United States quarter dollar from 1988. At first glance, it looks like the same 25-cent coin you might find in your pocket even today, but trust me, some rare versions of this coin are hiding secrets that can completely shock you. Stay with me, because what you learn today might make you check every old quarter you own. The year 1988 marks a fascinating period in American numismatic history. The U.S. Mint was producing coins at an incredible pace to keep up with economic demand, and this high-speed production environment often created unique opportunities for rare mistakes, striking variations, and coins that slipped through the system with unexpected characteristics. These are exactly the types of things collectors dream of discovering decades later. When you hold a 1988 quarter in your hand, you're holding a piece of American history. The obverse, or front of the coin, features the timeless portrait of George Washington, stern, steady, and dignified. This design had already been used for more than half a century by the time the 1988 quarter entered circulation. Yet collectors still appreciate the way the details pop on a well-preserved coin, the sharpness of Washington's hair, the smoothness of his profile, and the crisp edges that reveal how cleanly the coin was struck. These details matter, especially when condition plays such a huge role in determining value. Flip the coin over, and you're greeted by the iconic American eagle. Strong wings, firm stance, arrows clutched tightly, a symbol of determination, pride, and national spirit. Whether you're a casual collector or an expert, the reverse design of the 1988 quarter always commands attention when the details remain spotless and the original mint luster shines brightly. But as time passes, fewer and fewer 1988 quarters stay in this kind of condition. Most were tossed into vending machines, traded at gas stations, used in payphones, or carried around for years. Scratches, dents, wear marks, these things quickly start to erase the beauty that collectors value most. And that is exactly why the rare survivors, those few 1988 quarters that remain in pristine condition, are so special. They stand apart from the millions of heavily circulated and damaged coins from the same year. A coin that avoided decades of rough handling instantly becomes a star in the collector world. But condition isn't the only factor that makes certain 1988 quarters incredibly valuable. Minting errors, those unexpected quirks created during the coin's production, can turn a simple quarter into an extraordinary treasure. Imagine a quarter struck slightly off-center, or one where the lettering appears doubled, or a coin with a rare metal flaw. These errors were never intended, and most were caught by the mint. But a few managed to escape into circulation, becoming rare treasures waiting for someone lucky enough to find them. Collectors love error coins because they are unique. No two are exactly alike. And with the sheer volume of coins produced in the late 80s, it's remarkable when a strange or unusual strike from 1988 turns up. These are the coins that spark excitement, fuel bidding wars, and sometimes fetch unbelievable prices. And let's not forget the broader story behind the 1988 quarter. This coin circulated during the end of a decade filled with cultural icons, technological breakthroughs, and major political shifts. It carries the energy of an era. For collectors, that historical context adds even more meaning, making the hunt for a rare 1988 quarter even more thrilling. Now here comes the moment you've been waiting for. If you happen to own one of those exceptionally rare 1988 United States quarter dollars, whether it is a flawless mint-state example or a unique error coin, its value can reach an incredible $78,000. Yes, a simple quarter that cost almost nothing to spend could now be worth a life-changing amount. So take a few moments to check your old jars, wallets, drawers, and coin albums. You never know what hidden treasure might be waiting to surprise you. Diving into one of those surprising treasures, a coin millions of people used every day, but only a tiny fraction of which have become rare, high-value collectibles. Welcome back, coin lovers and curious explorers, because the 1998 United States quarter dollar has a story that reaches far beyond its 25-cent face value. Let's rewind to America in 1998. It was the final stretch of the decade, a time filled with new energy, new technology, and a growing sense of excitement for the upcoming new millennium. The internet was becoming part of everyday life, music and culture were changing fast, and the future felt closer than ever. In the middle of all this, the U.S. Mint continued striking Washington quarters, coins people barely noticed as they moved through life. But among the massive number of coins produced that year, some of them would eventually stand out in ways nobody expected. The 1998 quarter features the iconic portrait of George Washington, a design that has remained one of the most recognizable images in American currency for generations. His profile captures determination, leadership, and the roots of the nation's early history. Flip the coin over, and the heraldic eagle spreads its wings proudly on the reverse side. The eagle holds arrows, symbolizing strength and readiness, and every line of the design reflects the artistic precision of U.S. minting. But if millions of these coins were produced, how can a simple 1998 quarter become valuable? Here's where things get interesting. The value of this coin doesn't come from how many were made, but from how few survived in exceptional condition. Most 1998 quarters lived hard lives, scraped, rubbed, dropped, and circulated for decades. They show the marks of everyday use. But a rare handful avoided all that. These are the coins that were saved, protected, or simply forgotten before ever entering circulation. And those untouched coins, still glowing with their original mint shine, are the ones collectors chase. Condition plays a massive role. A quarter that looks as sharp today as it did the moment it left the mint is incredibly rare. Coins like that show crisp details in Washington's hair, a bold eagle design, smooth, lustrous surfaces, and flawless rims. When a 1998 quarter appears in this kind of near-perfect preservation, collectors take notice. But there's something even more exciting: minting errors and varieties. These are the rare accidents that happen during the production process, turning some coins into unique and highly desirable finds. These errors can include off-center strikes, double die elements, clipped planchets, shifted designs, or unusual metal textures. Even the smallest minting variation can dramatically increase a coin's value. Error coins are like fingerprints. No two are alike, making each one a rare piece of history. Some 1998 quarters also show subtle differences in strike strength, lettering sharpness, or portrait depth, which can make certain examples far more desirable. And when these unusual features appear on a coin that's already in pristine condition, its value can soar. Collectors also pay attention to where the coin was minted. Whether it carries AP from Philadelphia or AD from Denver can influence rarity. Certain mint locations produced smaller quantities of high-quality coins or had more noticeable error batches that year. These details matter, and experts examine them closely when determining a coin's true value. More than 25 years have passed since 1998. With each year, fewer perfect examples remain. Time, circulation, and ordinary wear have removed millions of these coins from the possibility of becoming collector's items. That's why the tiny percentage that survived in exceptional condition, especially with rare minting features, has become so important, so collectible, and so valuable. And now we reach the moment everyone waits for, the value reveal that surprises most people who have never examined their spare change closely. A perfectly preserved 1998 United States quarter dollar, especially one with a rare error or special minting characteristic, has been known to reach a truly remarkable price of $70,000. If you enjoyed discovering the hidden stories behind everyday coins, make sure you like the video, subscribe for more rare coin adventures, and turn on notifications so you never miss another surprising treasure. And remember, sometimes the most ordinary coin in your pocket might be worth far more than you ever imagined.